Did you think that the devlog was never real? Well, you thought wrong.
Yo, what's good, everyone? It's the owner of CurseNan, and welcome to the first ever devlog of CurseNan. I want to start off by apologizing to everyone who has anticipated up to this point. We want to make sure the game was really ready to be played, but we never really had the ground base of gameplay. So now, we're ready, bro. We're ready. But our next phases, you could definitely expect them to be a lot more different. But anyways, I'm very excited to share with you guys what we've been cooking up. And, you know, this is definitely going to be an experience to play, you know. We've been working really hard towards the release date of testing and all this stuff, but we finally gotten to the point we can do that now. But anyways, I want to talk about the daily updates we mentioned briefly in our Discord server. If you are not in the Discord server, you can go to the description of the video and find our Discord server there. Join up. We have a bunch of random sneaks there, you know what I'm saying? Sneaks you probably won't see in the devlog. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? Let's stick to the topic. Daily updates, you know what I'm saying? For the testing period is probably around like 2 weeks, you know, of daily updates. Now, I want to talk about the list we made in the Discord of all the stuff we're going to have for the game and the content, okay? But some things may not be immediately available, but they will be in the future. Or if it's in the list and it's not going to be in the game, then we're going to keep the testing period going until we have that in the game, you know what I mean? But we're also going to have a bunch of different systems that we probably weren't expecting to have in the first phase of the game. But, you know, it'll eventually make it into the game. Testing phase 1, which is the one after this one. This originally was going to be testing phase 1, but we wanted to have hunter exams and a bunch of other stuff for it to be testing phase 1. We're very picky when it comes to this type of stuff. Mostly me. But I think it's a good thing, and you know, we want the best for the game, so we want to make sure that everybody's playing what they should be playing. Anyways, let's move on to the customization of the game, because I know a lot of people have been wondering about it. Some people don't prefer customization for the game, but I mean, I like it. You know, we're gonna add into the game. A lot of the bigger games have this system. I know Block Juice doesn't, but so we have Gon's clothing right here, right? This was revamped. A lot of people like this clothing. Not a big fan of Gon's clothing in general, but we have it here. Kurapika, you know, some of these models, like I will mention now, are very outdated, very outdated, and we might need to revamp them. But if you guys like it, we could stick with it. But this one right here, we could definitely do a lot better. But you know, to each their own. And then the back is kind of glitched, but it's fine. And then we have, you know, the suit. We have the suit, which you know, you can make black with the color wheel and stuff. But yeah. And then we have this interesting combination of colors for the shirts, you know, and this will definitely be revamped in the future as well. But right now we're focusing more on the main gameplay of the actual game instead of, you know, all this clothing and stuff. But you guys are going to see now. So yeah, you can see the clothing models have changed with this one, you know, like this one already sets the tone for what you can see for the other ones now. Like this one, you know, very quality compared to the others. And if we put on the pants with it as well, it looks very nice. And then we have, you know, the jackets. And now we just get to the concept clothing, okay? The Hunter clothing will continue with the bosses and stuff like that, so don't worry about that. Most anticipated is probably Chrollo and Phaeton's clothing, but we already have both of them. But anyways, you could stack 2 different clothing or hairs, I mean, and you can make your own combinations and stuff like that if you guys wanted. What's it called? So yeah, you could just do that, get an afro or go bald. If you just click the same thing like that, and then you can make your own hairstyle. Like I like this one a lot, very classical, you know, look. This is one of my favorites as well. You know what I'm saying? We go with like a nice little color like that. It's very nice. I like that. So yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed until now, but this is a zoom out button, and it'll zoom out the camera when it's too close to the character. Now it's purposely getting close to the character because it's focusing on what you're adding. So like if I go to hair again, it's just gonna get closer to the you know, to the camera. But yeah, and then we have skin. You know, obviously we're gonna have skin color for the game, and you know, you can go all the way to the right, which is more dark than the left side, and you know, do your own combinations. You know what I'm saying? Make your own outfits and what you want. Now another thing I want to mention for the customization, you know, don't get scared by the reroll system here. This is not going to have anything to do with Nan itself and how you unlock it. This is just for races, and if you have any recommendations on what you guys want as you know, the ways to unlock races, let me know, because I have no idea what we can really do, but I'm open to ideas and, you know, changing it up. Mostly expecting dungeons and a couple other things to give you spins, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, nothing much. Yeah, I was gonna say in the future we will have a gender selection, but anyways, you know what I'm saying, let's move on to the other systems in the game. Alright, now we're here in the Universe Hub with all the game modes on the screen. These are not probably all going to be the game modes that we are going to have in the game. We'll probably have more. I also want to clear up the fact that the 100 exams will not be in the Universe Hub. It will actually be a thing in the game. So you gotta go in game to do the 100 exams, and it is a repeatable thing. You know, you can do it multiple times, but most people are probably just gonna do it for the Hunter license. But you know, we have the basic game modes selections here, right? We have trading, ranks, dungeons, and AFK world. Trading is pretty, you know, unique a little bit with the auction system we planned for. You know, you can auction your items out there. You know, it's gonna be a lot more easier to trade that way. Ranked is, you know, the most generic part of the game selection here, in my opinion, aside from AFK world, because, you know, it's just ranked, bro. It's the same thing that most people, you know, plan for. If you have any recommendations, though, we have open ears, and we will continue to add what you guys want, because, you know, obviously this is what you guys are gonna play, so we're gonna do what you guys want, unless if it's some stupid shit. I also want to clear up in this video, I know this has nothing to do with bandit beating from this selection screen, but I also want to say bandit beating will not be a thing in this game. If you guys classify having multiple things to do, but bandit beating is an option, and you go to do bandit beating because you want to, doesn't mean the game is a bandit beater. You're just doing what you want to do. You're going to do bandit beating because you enjoy it. You're doing it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the quest is telling you to do it, just don't expect it to be that way all of the quests from there on, okay? So, yeah. A bandit beater to me is when a game is literally purely based on bandit beating and has no alternatives and is literally going to continue to be that way, but you're still deciding to play it. I don't know why, but yeah. Dungeons is going to be a lot more unique because it's not going to be a wave system solely. It's going to have more depth to it, and it's going to be more exciting and strategy based than other games, you know what I mean? And we're gonna actually plan to have a lot more immersiveness to that function of the game, you know what I mean? A lot of people are going to keep playing this game for dungeons and a couple other things, you know what I mean? Now I also want to mention here for our future plans in a little bit, this game will consist of mining, crafting, cooking, and fishing, you know what I mean? So there's going to be a couple, you know, ways to grind up your XP, because yes, they will give you XP, but most of them will only give you XP if they're rare rarity and up, you know, for like crafting and cooking and stuff like that. And then, you know, you have treasure chests, which you've seen in the little snippet of the video. And yeah, yeah, we're all planning to get that all sorted out, you know what I'm saying? And we will probably have that in the next phase, maybe a couple of them, you know what I mean? But we're definitely looking for people to help us out with the rig modeling, just, you know, rigging our models and, you know, bringing it to life, like the fishing rod, for example. You know what I mean? But you know, we're very excited to share with you guys everything we have in store for the game. You know, we have a bunch of plans and a bunch of things that we are really excited to have in this game. We're very passionate, you know what I mean? You don't see that very often anymore. And I know you guys have been starving for a actual passion-based game. You know, we don't see that very often as well. The game catalog right now is not very stacked, and it probably will be in the future, but we just don't know yet because it's a very rocky road right now. But yeah, we're just gonna stay humble on the idea that we're going to try our best to do what we can. But yeah, let's move on to the main game. That's what you guys have been waiting for, so let's go ahead and do it now. Alright, so moving on to the islands, and I also want to start off with Whale Island because I think it will be the most important island, considering it will be the first island the player will progress through the storyline. But it may not be the island you will spawn in during the testing phase because we want everyone to explore all the islands, of course. But it is a very important island to the game, and you know, it will be one of the islands you guys will explore. We're very excited to share with you guys. I think the mining system will be very cool to see in this game, especially with the cave we have set up for Whale Island. But yeah, you guys should enjoy, you know, exploring this island and others. But we're very excited to bring it to you all. You know, we're always revamping shit, so this might be one of those islands we will revamp in the future. But for right now, we're happy with it. Alright, moving on to another island called Sunset Bay. It is our newest island. Well, actually our second newest island. We are very proud of this one as well. This one will also have NPCs walking around because it is a town itself for the most part. Alright, now we're also moving on to Suna Desert, which is our sand island, which I'm not very proud of at this moment in time, just because I feel like I could do a lot better, which will lead to a rework eventually. Alright, now moving on to the second and last island we will be showcasing here. This is actually the island we sneaked in the teaser, and yeah, it's one of my best works in terms of building. I'm very proud of this one. But yeah. Alright, now we're moving on to the OG island, aka the first island that we've had in this game. And yeah, this is an island that will definitely be deleted in the future, probably. Alright, so now we're in the tutorial system. So yeah, I just want to mention a couple of things before we get into the tutorial system itself. We currently are still working on the system itself, but right now we just have the basis of what we want. Just because we have more important things to work on before we actually start revamping things that don't really matter to the game itself, considering this is just an optional system itself. Got that out of the way. Also want to mention that this is also going to showcase the new movement system, which is part of the reason why I'm showing you this tutorial system in the first place. But yeah, you guys will start to see the little differences in the game itself, alright? Anyways, let's start off with the crouch system. Go ahead and do that. Start sprinting. Alright, so you see the task right here that you have to do. So yeah, we have the same dashes. They're kind of the same dashes. They're just a little bit more like smoother now, and they take you farther, but they have a longer cooldown, so that's exchange there. But we do have other mechanics that will make up for that cooldown. But yeah, let's start off with the sliding. So yeah, the sliding is a lot more different, and it's also kind of directional based, you know, like it'll change between left and right slides. And yeah, so that's the difference there. And then we also have that like they're coming off the player as well, just little details like that. And then we have footprints that we've always had, so you see the little footprints coming off the character when you're walking and stuff. Now we have air dashes. As you can see, you can air dash. And yeah, now we have, you know, double jumps. Or I mean, we've always had double jumps, but this one's a little bit more smoother. So yeah, that's the double jump there. And then you can also mix that with air dashes, so you can go ahead and go onto a platform like this, you know, just kind of more smoother, like that. Kind of messed up there, but you know what I mean. Let's do the climb system a little bit more in detail so you guys can see. There you go. And then yeah, I mean, it looks a lot more smoother there. Now we also changed it from being spacebar to vault to just running into it, so it's less confusing, and people probably wouldn't even know that existed if they didn't do the tutorial. So yeah, there it is. You just walk into it, you can run to, make it a little bit more faster. There's different vault animations too. But yeah, and then now we have wall running, which I'm gonna just do for a second, and then it's gonna teleport me. All right, and then yeah, so you can switch from wall to wall. Now you kind of have to master this movement system because it is a little complicated, you know. It takes time to practice a little bit, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's just vault. So it'll teleport me here. So yeah, so we have swinging, which is, you know, like gonna help out with more immersive gameplay in some areas. It's not gonna be in every island. I don't think it fit in every island. That's the only reason why. See, like an island like this, it'd probably fit though, because you know it's like more of a ruin-based type of island. But yeah, we'll showcase more of that system in this devlog probably. But yeah, let's just showcase basic combat, which is fist combat, which is not better than weapons, obviously. But we're probably gonna have, you know, fist combat, having abilities, you know, maybe in the future. But right now we're kind of just focused on the bases of the things, you know, in the game. So now we have the wall slamming. Just wall slam your opponent. You can block your hits, obviously. Alright. That's an air combo with this dummy. Now this tutorial doesn't showcase everything with the air combat. There's a lot more into the air combat, which will probably be showcased a little bit more in depth in this devlog here, you know. And then when you guys actually start testing, you'll start to notice the differences between what we showcased here into the game. And you know, you probably have more fun playing it than, you know, actually watching it, obviously. So yeah, let's go ahead and exit. Alright, we're in the main game now. I just want to showcase a little bit more of combat, because I didn't get to show much because of the tutorial system and how it really works. What I mean by that is like that the tutorial doesn't let me like teleport and all that. Probably, I mean it would, but like I just get teleported to the next task that I have to do. So that's why I wasn't able to show in the tutorial. So we do have fist combat. We have the weapons here. So let's start off with fist combat, because I mean, I guess we didn't get to show it as much as the other stuff. So here you have like air combat, and if you press X right before you finish off the air combo, you're able to teleport to the player and then continue. Anyways, to start off with Crollo's dagger, why don't we? You know what I'm saying? We got, you know, it's a pretty nice model. You know what I'm saying? Pretty nice model. It's pretty small, but all right, gets the job done. So here we are, air combat again. Accidentally dashed with that. Okay. Now we're gonna showcase the trident, which, as you can tell, has different animations a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then the air combo, different sounds too. We also have destructible objects like that. See, I accidentally killed him. Now we're gonna showcase Cutlass. Cutlass is actually one of my favorite weapons in the game so far, but it is gonna have its own custom animations as well. Right now we are kind of just like focused more on like the system itself, and then we'll add the animations obviously last. But most of the abilities will have completely different shit. You know, like you don't have to worry about how long it takes to make it. And then yeah, so that's Cutlass. We already see the teleport. There's no point in seeing it. So we have blocking, obviously. So if I start hitting him like that, there you go. You got a parry right there. And then you know, as you can see, like under the health bar and everything, there is like a bar filling up every time he hits me, and that's the evasive bar. So there's actually evasives in the game, and if you fill that up to the max, you're able to get out of combos within the system itself, and it'll help you know, like, you know, obviously like get out of combos, like, and that'll help also with abilities and stuff like that, you know. I know everybody's probably gonna complain about the damage and everything, but the damage is not final, and the base combat will eventually have less damage. And you know, when the stat system is done, you know, actually start to see the balance changes and everything, and it'll be percentage based, so it won't be, you know, strictly damage. So yeah, we have the emote system. This is kind of just some like fun stuff. It's not really that important. You know, like if you guys really like emotes, here you are. You know, this is, and then we have a little cool feature too with it. See, like you have like aura around them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean the emo system right there. And then hotbar also got changed. Like there's textures to them now. Before there wasn't. There was just like boxes that had no textures to them. Now they do. They look a lot better. And then you know we have the menu. Now this menu is going to consist of the inventory, party, quest journal, game settings, skill tree, store, mastery, and achievements. And I personally think mastery might just be like your weapons and stuff like that. I don't think it'll be anything related to Nen, because skill tree is practically that. You know, that's why it's called a skill tree. And then you know, quest journal is just gonna kind of show you like where all your quests are, and like your side quests and your all your different types of quests are gonna be in this journal. And then you know the story, you know, obviously that's for the people that want to pay to win the game here. Prices are actually pretty fair in my opinion. I think, you know, right now you shall not be paying for it because it doesn't work yet. But I think you guys will probably do it just to support, and then eventually when it becomes a system, of course. So yeah, there's different sections, and then we have codes, which obviously don't work yet, and they will in the future. And you know, the party system, which will probably be in the daily updates for sure. But anyways, yeah, that's the menu for now. Oh yeah, let me showcase the inventory. So yeah, we have like a revamped inventory UI. If you guys are not familiar with our sneaks, go into the Discord. There's the old inventory system itself, and this is the new version. So yeah, that's another part of our game that's new. And we're gonna showcase that part of the game actually right now. Alright, so here I am. I just gathered all the materials that I really need to start cooking. So we have 4 bananas, 3 apples. That's not enough for 2 baked. So just for some information on how to get baked items, you just need 2 bananas and 2 apples, or just 2 apples for 1 baked apple, and then 2 bananas for a baked banana. And you know, once we start adding more, you know, food that you can gather around from the map in different islands as well, because that'll change, you know, like the discography of that. But in general, it'll change how much you need of each, and then maybe you'll need other things as well to even cook them. Yeah, we'll see. But yes, we have the requirements. So let's go ahead and do the baked banana. And then let's do the baked apple. And there is a chance of it actually failing, and if we get unlucky like that, that'd be crazy, but I don't think that. Yeah, as you can see, I have 2 baked apples now, and then I have 1 baked banana. All right. And don't mind, these images are gonna be changed just like for placeholders and stuff like that. Yeah, they're very dog shy now. So now let's just equip one of them. Let's do the banana first. Actually, let's do the baked apple. All right. So I think, all right, let's have him damage us so we can actually get some health back. Here we are. Let's try to get some. There you go. Saw that? Got a lot of HP back like that. All right, then we do it again. I have 2 apples, remember. Well, firstly, let's do the banana. You see the other stuff. So, I mean, that's pretty much the system, you know. Like, that's how you start healing and stuff like that. You know, we got the banana, we got the apple, we got the baked apple. And yeah, that's pretty much most of the content. You know, you can go around getting some apples and bananas, you know, just for some extra information. The bananas only spawn in the beach side of things, so over here basically, and then or I mean, just anywhere that has sand like this, you know, aside from the other islands, you know, just Whale Island, this island right here, we'll have them, and you can find the apples in the grassy areas, in the grassy environment, all the way over there, and yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it, you know. This was a really fun devlog to make. I mean, there is a few delays, and I'm sorry about that. But we finally put it out, and this was actually quite what was the word? Like, quite the time. Like, it took so much time to make the devlog, and finally, you know, it's out. You know, I'm glad that it's finally out. I can start moving on to other things. You know. So we're gonna have daily updates, like I said. We're gonna have daily updates in the testing phase. Whether that's bug fixes, that's adding new revamps to the game, new systems, clothing, like new weapons or something, like stuff like that. You know, like just daily updates, man. And you know, the new islands, maybe, I don't know, something. Maybe a lot of different varieties of things. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this devlog. We'll have the little sneak at the end of this devlog, so stay tuned. And that's actually going to be rolling up right now, so